How do you give a great conference talk? Well, it's harder than you would think. The majority of people giving talks focus strictly on the educational and the informational piece of it, but then they leave their audience out of it altogether. So, what I'm going to do is explain all of the characteristics that I bring to a conference talk or a technical talk, and how I have been successful getting people to engage and enjoy the presentations that I give. So, the best talks aren't just educational and informational, they're also entertaining and motivational. Those two pieces are what most frequently gets left out. And it's all about how your audience feels when they leave your talk. We try to cram too much into our talks and you try to make everything sound amazing when you first begin. But after a while, you begin to, you're going to get this. You only need 3 or 4 great moments. That is what makes an amazing talk, is those 3 or 4 amazing moments. So let me tell you a little about the moments that you're going for. First, you want somebody in your audience to kind of go, "Wow, I could really use that. That's useful. I could definitely use that right now." That you want to have that sort of bright-eyed moment, or that is so much easier than what I have right now. Those are amazing. I never realized that. I had no idea. The mind blown. That revelation, that sense of, I've never seen it that way before. You just simplified that and made it so much easier to learn. Like that's amazing. If you can have audience members have 1, 2, 3, 4 of those moments in your talk, they will walk away remembering it. I feel like I understand something that seemed kind of out of reach when I got here. Like I didn't think I could learn that. And now I'm walking away and I understand that thing. Those are the big moments. Like that's the big stuff that you want them to leave with. Those 3 or 4 of those types of moments, and you got a killer talk. And that's all you have to do. The rest of it's informational. There's, like I said, going to be some entertainment. There's going to be a little bit of motivation that you want to slip into it. But don't try to do too much in any given talk, because if you do, you're going to lose your audience. We are simple people. And no matter how advanced what you're talking about is, always keep your talks constrained to like 3 or 4 of those wow moments. And you'll be so much more successful than if you try to just condense, do too much. You've heard the phrase, don't try to do too much. This is definitely an example of don't try to do too much. Slide 1, get them to agree with you. This is from an FBI negotiator. As crazy as that sounds for talk advice, what the negotiator said is they could get the person that they were negotiating with on their side. They knew they were going to succeed if they could just get them to say, "I agree." Not yes, not anything else. I agree. And so your first slide is something that's irrefutable. Apple pie tastes wonderful. Moms are great. Just one of those things that you're probably not going to get a no out of a whole lot of people on. So those are the types of things that you want in that first slide. Just something that people can agree with you on, that they're going to say, yeah, yes. Sometimes that is a statement about how hard or something difficult is right now, and you're going to explain an easier way to do that. Sometimes it's a dissatisfaction with the way a certain product works. It's, a universally accepted truth. That's another one that you can get people to nod their heads on. A truth about a particular technical community. We like to laugh at ourselves, and so you will get an I agree sometimes when you present that to people, that difficult truth. But slide 1, just get everybody in the audience to say, "I agree." You only need 2 jokes. Some people are funny. Hey, if you're funny, definitely. Throw the jokes in there. But don't feel like you have to overstuff jokes, but feel like you need 2 good jokes. One at the very beginning and one at the midpoint. The one at the beginning gets the crowd on your side. The one in the middle wakes everybody back up. Because remember, people start doing this after a little while. So you want people to be engaged at that midpoint, because you probably still have 1 or 2 of those moments coming after that midpoint. So hit that joke and then get to one of those moments almost immediately after it. And you'll have just far more success. Next, hydration. It's very important. You can go from sounding amazing to sounding like you have smoked cigarettes for your entire life. Have water. You will be so much more comfortable having some water. Wear clothes that are comfortable. Don't wear stuff that makes you feel uncomfortable. And realize lights in a conference room, lights in a presentation hall can be really, really hot. That is something they do not tell you, is how hot it can get on stage with those extremely bright lights on you. So if they're going to have bright lights on you, I mean, ask how bright the lights are and how hot the stage gets. If they are, I mean, think about that in your choice of attire. You don't want to wear something that you're going to be just sweating all the way through. That's just the worst way to go through one of these talks, is when, your forehead starts sweating. So ask about those types of things and think about your comfort. Comfortable shoes are another good thing to have, because who knows how long you're going to be up there. If you've got a lengthy Q&A, the worst thing you want to do is be feeling like your feet are killing you. So comfort, all those things that'll make you comfortable, do that. And use what you have. If you are an entertainer, be an entertainer. If you have a huge personality, use your huge personality. If you're a good-looking person, be good-looking. If you are extremely knowledgeable, bring that knowledge. Bring that depth to your presentation. Work with what you have, whatever it happens to be. If you got great shirts, great taste in fashion, use your fashion. Whatever it is, use your thing, because everyone as a speaker is just a little bit different. You're going to find as you speak, you've got a thing. You've got something that you do that nobody else seems to do. Use that thing. Use what you have. I have a unique sneaker collection. I've never used that before, but that could be my thing. That could be the thing I use. So whatever you have, bring that just small piece of personality, small piece of you to every one of your talks and make it a signature. Having a signature makes you more memorable, and that's one of the keys to being invited back and making an impression on your audience. So you want posture, but not stiffness. So what is the difference between posture and stiffness? You want to be more natural, but at the same time, you don't want to be hunched over. If your neck's down, that's bad. You want your shoulders back. And if you want an easy way to figure out how to do this, push your shoulders back, your elbows back a little bit. So keep your elbows close to you, push them back, and you see where your shoulders go. It's automatic. Your shoulders go back, just keep it there. That's where your shoulders want to be. Head, just keep that chin like there's a straight line right under your chin. You're looking out straight at people. That's exactly what your posture needs to be. Don't hunch, don't lean, don't wobble, don't do any of that stuff. You want to have good posture, but not stiff posture. The worst thing you can do is just be that person that looks like they're afraid to move. Audience. It's very important that you understand the concept of audience engagement points. If your audience is separated out across a room, you have to look at your audience in different angles. So your first angle obviously is dead center. And if you've got one of those aisles right in front of you, you're just kind of looking just off to the left, just off to the right. You're interchanging, kind of at that first corner, second corner. Don't always stare at the front row. You want to look maybe sometimes 2 or 3 rows down. Believe me, the people in the front row still feel like you're looking at them. That's the great thing about being back a little bit and up. You still feel like you are getting attention because they're looking off in your direction. But also realize you have people on the sides. And so there are usually 3 points in a fairly narrow auditorium. So you look left, right, down the middle, and then you have off to your about 45 degrees right and 45 degrees left. So you want to, as you're talking, you're down the middle, you're looking to the right, then you're looking to the left. You want to engage the entire room. Because if an entire side of the room doesn't feel like you've spent any time talking to them, making any sort of eye contact with them, I mean, how would you feel if I spent the entire time talking over here and you're over there? It's a subconscious thing, but it's still important. So remember, 1, 2, 3. If you are talking in front of a ridiculously sized crowd, you may actually have between 5 and 7 of these points. You can have right down the middle, 45 degrees, 60 degrees, and then you're looking towards the back at about 45 degrees. And so you're almost looking up. And you give that appearance that you're actually talking to the very back of the audience. Because again, you want to engage everyone in there. You want them to feel like everyone has had some sort of just minor contact with you. So even though you're not staring people in the eyes, you are looking at sections of the audience and you're communicating and engaging with your posture, aiming your message at them. It's critical. I've seen people spend their entire time staring down or staring just straight ahead, and they're really neglecting the majority of the room that kind of gets left hanging. And it feels like there's a level of disengagement with them. Get out from behind the podium. I know you feel like right now, feels like I'm kind of stuck sitting here, isn't it? Nope. Look, I just moved furniture around and now I'm doing it from back here. I'm giving you a talk from back here now. No one got angry at me. It's okay. You can move up from behind the podium. You can move around a little bit. You don't have to be stiff. Remember that posture. You just keep this, the elbows go back. Now you got it. And that almost looks like a natural move, doesn't it? All I did was adjust my posture, but I just shifted my elbows back. Now my neck's up. I'm looking around properly and realize you can move. It's okay to move around the stage. Don't let the camera cut your head off like it just did me, but move around the stage. Feel free to. And you see where I'm keeping the mic, how it's below me. It's not right in front of me. Because if the mic's right in front of your face, you're going to get that the sounds that you don't want, those hard thumping sounds. So you keep it just down a little bit or off to the side a little bit. Keep it out of the way. But if there's a mic stuck at the podium, grab it. See if you can get it. Move around a little bit. Because the worst thing you can do for an audience is just be that person behind the podium who's staring down at their laptop, who's got the presentation back behind them. That's a disengaged speaker. Be an engaged speaker. Walk around a little bit. Move from time to time. You see, I just shifted my body weight to look at different parts of the audience. That's really effective, is that move, that lean. These are these little things, these small tricks that'll get you a little bit more engagement, that make it feel like you're speaking to people. And if you feel like your posture's getting low, remember, it's just that reset. Just put your shoulders back a little bit. Your elbows go back behind you. And you see how my shoulders came back and everything else kind of shifted back up? It's a great move. And then, like I said, it looks natural. It's not like you just, it looks good. So seriously, own the stage. Move around a little bit, and you're going to own the audience by looking at them. Last piece of advice, exaggerated facial expressions. See how far back I am here. You're going to have to, if you want to have facial expressions, if you want people to understand what you're saying, your face has got to be big. And we don't realize how, like a small smile, it's nowhere near as big as a big smile. And you need a big smile to convey the emotion that you want to convey. If you're frowning, you want it to be that exaggerated frown. If you're looking questionable, you want it to be that big expression. Because a small expression, especially in the back of the room, barely going to be seen. And on camera, even if you do expressions that face-to-face would work, on camera, for whatever reason, they don't come across the same way. They are not as engaging, not as effective. So, don't be afraid to move around. Don't be afraid to move things around. Don't be afraid to be adaptable. Do what you have to do. Use the stage. I mean, heck, I'm on 1D right now. Do whatever you got to do to make it work on that stage. And bring your personality to it. Bring whatever it is that you have to your presentation. Be part entertainer, part motivator, and also part informer and educator. You're going to have a significantly more effective presentation style. You're going to be asked back more frequently than even more knowledgeable speakers. Why? Because audiences want to show up to your presentations.